breaking news. We are just learning now, for those of you who may have been worried that Nancy Pelosi wouldn't be around to continue to do a whole bunch of damage to this country, guess what? She just announced that she was going to be running for re-election. That's breaking right now. So all of you who wish to continue to do damage to America, you can be thankful. She's going to continue to be around to do it. Also trending this hour, woke culture has gone wild here in the United States. Our country is suffering mightily because of this. When it comes to critical race theory, crime, or foreign policy, the woke Biden administration has fallen short in every pro-American metric. Let's bring in senior contributor for The Federalist, Benjamin Weingarten. Hey, Ben, nice to have you here. You have an op-ed out in Newsweek that lays out all of these things and how the Biden administration has let woke culture take over governance and policy instead of letting the Constitution be the guide. Let's start with Russia and Ukraine. And I said yesterday that due to the inexperience of Biden's millennial handlers, we have no good choices when it comes to pushing back on Russia with its designs on Ukraine. In my view, this stems from Team Biden's predisposition of supporting America's enemies. They just don't know how to defend America or our interests. How do you see it?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. And look, it's amazing the situation that the Biden administration inherited, of course. What did he do with the Trump administration that had effectively countered Russia to a substantially greater degree, by the way, than the Obama Biden administration? Immediately, Biden goes in without preconditions and inks a New START treaty or New START Treaty 2 with Russia. Additionally, obviously, we saw the collapse in Afghanistan and the disastrous way by which the administration withdrew. And all of these things and many more, including cowing to Chinese officials when they tacked American representatives to their faces at that infamous Anchorage, Alaska meeting. In every single respect, going back, obviously, to a new Iran deal that the Biden administration wants. In every single respect, there was caving and appeasing. And of course, Nord Stream 2, that essential energy pipeline, which the Trump administration had sanctioned and countered, and actually opened up an energy pipeline where the U.S. would be delivering liquefied natural gas to Germany. What did the Biden administration do? It effectively took off those sanctions. Of course, the Senate Democrats just voted down a sanctions package. And this was all just an invitation for Vladimir Putin to effectively do as he wished instead of countering him.
Yeah, we need a president in there, and instead we've got a pansy, and the world knows it. That's all we've got in there is a pansy. Another area where you say woke culture has gone awry is in the area of crime. We covered that extensively in the preamble today. Why do you think socialist Democrats allow criminals to take over our lives, take over the streets?
Well, to the true believers, I think they believe that injustice is justice. In effect, that society has created criminality and that you can't essentially jail your way out of a problem. But look, the bottom line is that the way to deal with aggression, whether it's on the foreign stage or at home, is not to appease it. It is to not tolerate it, and it is to punish it to the fullest extent of the law. It's an amazing contrast, by the way, when you look at how the DOJ goes about prosecuting those who were participants in January 6th versus what we see in city streets across America. And that goes to federal authorities going back to the 2020 summer BLM riots to today, where you have Soros prosecutors and other progressive prosecutors across the country who essentially believe in a policy of leaving law-abiding citizens completely defenseless because somehow they, in this unjust society, have done wrong, and it's their fault that there is crime, criminality. And of course, you know, they'll chalk it up to economic conditions, systemic racism, et cetera. But those are just dodges. To the politicians, I think this is ultimately that they feel that they must, first of all, cow to progressive ideologues and elites.